Grab your popcorn, kick back and relax, because it's time for some more carnage. In today's video, we got another video in the 25-man series. Today we're going to be looking at how to open Boomtown. So, when we eventually use our eyes and find Boomtown, there we go. So, 3 boats of Scorchers, Bullet using Taunt, and the rest will all be Zookers. So, 2 artilleries takes care of the mines we're going to be dealing with. Now, this is the first important part of this hit. So these rockets here have no range on where your troops are going to be walking, assuming you flare at the absolute bottom left corner of the screen, like as low to that as you possibly can get. So you'll see they walk sort of downwards, just below the landing craft, and you can see like they are well out of range. So we'll have to drop a smoke. Notice how the smoke is sort of half overlapping the range of that rocket. That's more a safety thing more than anything. Like, you could push it up a little bit more than that if you really wanted to, but as I said, it's just the safety thing, just to be on the safe side. So the flare is placed right on the corner there, just in line on that thick line there next to that corner. So that's that. And because of where they are, when they're grouped in that little bottom corner, they will take a nice tight walking path down the base, and this will allow you to space your smokes out just a little bit more. Double smoking the land. So Bullet is using Taunt literally just for this opening hit. I have seen people use energy drink, but honestly I think Taunt offers a little bit more value, just to make sure that your Scorchers don't get damaged as much, because that's really the role that Bullet plays. Shocking them, getting pretty much all the machine guns except for that one. The reason why you want your Scorchers alive is towards the end. So the shields are now all down, so we'll be flaring up to that corner. Notice how the troops sort of had a little bit of a delay there, about like a 2-second delay between the flare actually going up. That caused the Scorchers to receive a little bit more damage than what they actually really needed to have. So that's a little bit of room for improvement, but overall still pretty solid opener so far. Really, your Scorchers play a really big role towards the end with these rockets. Where's the ice statues on this map? It's hiding behind here. Okay, so we'll half times this. That's 522 and 130. So this is the version without the cells up the top. I'm in a little bit of a half mind between whether this makes it harder or easier, because with more cells, I mean, your troops are going to spread a little bit more when they get to their targets. But all in all, it means that's the sort of the downside. The plus side to having cells up the top is that obviously you got more energy to farm. So once you deal with the rockets, you can farm a bit of energy, which makes your attack a little easier. I have seen with remote hack, I have seen people actually get this in 1 hit, which is absolutely ridiculous. But normally, if you can get this in 2, you're doing really well for yourself. 3 is like playing it safe, but 2 is like what you want to be aiming for. Obviously, this version having no cells makes it a little bit difficult. But in terms of like energy wise, but still pretty good. So in a second we're going to be flaring up, because you can see how many cells have been taken. Let's see, when are we going to do that? Okay, so we're flaring back now just to group them. So now you'll see, okay, now you can see the flare up when the Zookers got like as close as they could to that flare. So that timing is very important, because it takes exactly enough time for those Zookers to walk from where they were to in the dead spot of this rocket right next to them. And the Scorchers, being as quick as they are, will actually be ahead. and that will take the fire from the rockets. So you'll see that this flare will be running out right now, which puts those Zookas right in a good spot in that last smoke, shocking these two so they don't change targets. Now we're going to be flaring that, and literally just keeping stuff shocked. This rocket will target the Scorchers, which is the roll of here. We're going to be dropping critters, so this rocket has something else to fire at, other than just the Scorchers, because their spread is a little bit unpredictable. You don't really know how they're going to behave. So flaring that again, keeping in mind that when we flared the boom cannon, the point of that was that the Zookas were going to stop in the dead spot of the other two rockets, so we wouldn't need to shock them at that point. So again, we're going to be destroying this rocket, which is really great. This is usually the point of the first attack. If you can get all those rockets down and the shields on the left, that's pretty much the goal of your opener. So now we have a little bit of extra time still on the clock, so we're going to be going after the shields. This is going to save the next attacker. Now sometimes you will get a version with like a shock launcher within range of that back stuff. In this particular case it didn't have one, which is great. If it did, doesn't really matter, it's not too much of an issue to deal with for the next attacker. But we were able to deal with that in the opener, which is absolutely amazing. Now not enough time to really do anything at this point, and not really enough troops left either, so just sacrificing them, letting them do whatever. And that was the opener. So I hope you guys really enjoyed that hit. It's definitely, I'm not going to say it's the hardest version, because I have seen harder versions of this, with like more cells and the shock launcher up the top. But this pretty much was the standard version of that hit. So if you've ever seen a Boomtown and you haven't known quite how to address it, that's pretty much the tactics. So before I close off the video and call it a day, I didn't mention the critters that we dropped up the top as they were sort of walking. That was more just to distract these mortars, just so they don't decimate everything. I feel like you can get away without it, because I mean, it's not, usually if they get the shots off on your Zookas, they will kill some. I mean, it's a bit of a chance sort of thing how many they kill, but it's generally not like a huge amount. It's like a couple, like maybe half a landing craft or a landing craft worth. Normally not enough to sort of be the end-all factor in your attack. But if you lose too many of those, what will happen is you run the risk of not being able to destroy rockets within your shocking, within the time of your shocks. And if you have the time to go for these top shields, another factor in this is that if you don't have, you may not have the time to take them out either. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smack the thumbs up button, tell me what you thought in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.